Today's episode is brought to you by my new book, Fuck Whales, Petty Essays from a Brilliant Mind. Available now at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or anywhere books are sold. Welcome to the best debate in the universe, every debate in the universe, from MGTOW to saying chow. With over 3 million downloads, I'm your host, Madcast. With me, as of today, is the monarch of moderation, Rucka Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
And as always, the Sultan of Swag, Mikey Bolts.
Thanks, Maddox.
Welcome back to the show. Guys, exciting show, big show today. A sad farewell to Rucka Rucka Ali. A bittersweet one. It's been a long run. It's been a good run. The end of an era. But this is it. This is the final episode with Rucka. He's saying farewell. He's doing his own. He's going his own way. Rucka going his own way.
MGTOW. RGHOW.
RGHOW. He's going to be in London for the next couple of weeks.
I'm going to be in Switzerland. Going to be in London. And I'm going to be going my own way.
Yeah. RGHOW. That's right. Guys, with us today also, we have two very fantastic guests, fan favorites. We've got Dillon Avery. Dillon, welcome back to the show.
Hey.
And Mike D.
Hello, hello.
Guys, welcome back to the show. If you guys remember, Mike D was on episode number 34. That was our big Punchin' Nazi episode, which, again, fan favorite episode. I highly recommend you go back and listen to it. That's one of the best episodes I think we've ever recorded.
Damn right.
Yeah. Now, and for those of you who don't know or don't remember, Dillon was also the first time you were on the show. You're the creator of Loose Change,
yes, sir.
The 9/11 documentary, and then also your new one, the
Black and Blue.
Black and Blue. That's right.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, and that went through the festival circuit. Is that right?
Festival Best Documentary at Catalina, so that should be coming out in the next couple months. That's pretty exciting.
Awesome.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, today we've got a big debate. We're going to be debating whether or not the Illuminati exists.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I
got the
already
sound-
feel like getting triggered.
Yeah, well, we're going to debate that today. But before we do, I have to get a little bit of business out of the way. Rucka, you are a moderator. You have been a moderator on the show. But since you are leaving today, I am going to have to strip away your title.
My new title?
Yeah, your new title for you.
Monarch of Moderation?
Monarch of Moderation. So I mean, it's rules are rule. I don't make the rules up.
Nope.
I have to take away your stat, your rank.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right.
And your medals.
Give me your badge and your gun.
Take all your medals.
Yeah.
So you're going from Monarch of Moderation to guest.
Wow. Damn.
Welcome to the show, Rucka.
Special guest.
So what do you do, Rucka?
How's things?
Yeah.
I'm looking for work right now. If anyone needs an extra pair of hands, like on their YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah. You're YouTube. You make YouTube videos?
Yeah, I try.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What kind of videos do you make?
I would call them like mini documentaries with the beat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of blatant, explicit information. Really is what I'd call it. Yeah.
Hard info. Okay. And where can people find you?
Online.
Online, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we'll link to it. We'll link to it at the end of the show. I'm going to ask you some more questions as we go on,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have three guests today. 3 guests and the Sultan of Swag in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
Well, guys,
Big fan of the show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The best debate. How long have you been listening to it?
I've been getting around to it.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. I like fans of the show.
I dig that he's being demoted to guest, which makes us what?
You guys are moderators in training
Yeah.
because this is...
Okay.
That's right. Mike, this is your 3rd or 4th time on the show.
He's practically a veteran.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we may have a promotion for you in the works. And Dillon, you're getting up there.
Wow.
You're a moderator in
This
training.
is number 2 now.
That's right.
Getting up there.
Yeah, so Rucker's our guest today.
Yeah.
But we should get to the debate. The debate this week is, does the Illuminati exist? Before we get to that, though, I want to hear everyone's buzzers. Rucka, as our guest this week, will you please, let's hear your buzzer.
How do you work this thing? Hold on.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Is that it?
There you go. Okay, yeah, that works.
Jeez, he's
Is
good.
that what you want that
He's
to be your
good.
buzzer?
Yeah.
Okay, that works
All
great. And then Dillon and Mike D. And here's mine. If you hear a buzzer from anyone during the debate, that means somebody is disagreeing with someone else. We're chiming in with an interjection, a factual correction, a fallacy we want to point out. But Rucka, as our guest this week,
Oh, God.
I'm gonna
This
give you
never gets old.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I'm gonna give you first stab at the debate.
Oh.
Does the Illuminati exist? Yes or
Hell
no?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it does exist?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Correct. And Dillon?
Jeez. It's complicated. It exists in some form.
Dillon,
I
this
think.
isn't a Facebook status update. This isn't your relationship, man.
just
Well,
pick a damn
I
side.
can't just say yes because then it's I don't know.
Yes, you
Then-
can.
Just pick
Can
a
I?
side.
You're saying
Canada?
you're saying yes in some ways. That's an okay.
Sure, yeah,
Okay.
yes in some ways.
Yes in some ways.
Yes.
Okay. And Mike D.
Hell no, I'm going to take both of these guys down.
Okay, great. There you go.
And I will be arguing that it does
I'll
exist.
take you down too.
Okay.
All
Right.
right.
I want to hear this, Mike. So, Mike, as the opposition to this debate, why do you think it doesn't exist?
Well, hold on a second. I don't think the burden of proof is on me to prove that something does not exist. I think the ball's in your court, so let's go.
Damn, Mike D with the solid arguments
Dropping
right out
the
the
absence of evidence.
Are we done here?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
All right,
much.
Thank you.
Well, before we get to whether or not the Illuminati exists or doesn't exist, let's define what the Illuminati is, because a lot of people don't know. It's a meme on the internet now, but there's a lot of MLG videos that show MLG Major League Gaming where they show the little triangle and they say Illuminati confirmed the existence. It's become a meme, right? Here's the origin of the Illuminati. It's a sect that was Bavarian in origin, and it's a secret society that operated only for a decade from 1776 to 1758. The organization was founded by a guy named Adam Weishaupt. I think that's how it's pronounced. Weishaupt. What?
Only for 10 years from 1776 to when?
1776 to 1785.
Oh, you said 58.
And you said for only 10
About
years.
a decade, yeah.
You said only 10 years.
Well, that's
And
what
then
this
you
article said.
Then you said to 58, and then you changed it to 85.
I meant to say 85.
Neither of which is 10 years.
You know what, Rucka?
The guest really has some attitude today.
Yeah, a lot of attitude with this guest.
Yeah, just
Don't know if we'll have him back.
all right. Carry on.
Yeah.
Where was this? Was this in Bavaria?
It's a Bavarian.
Is that
yeah.
what's Bavaria? Is that in South
No,
America?
it's
What? Don't laugh at me. I'm not fucking educated
Oh, that's
like
right.
you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Well, we don't know. The listeners don't know.
Educated like him. Is that what you just said?
This
Okay.
guy
All
came
right.
very close to graduating.
Yeah,
That's
very
true.
close.
Okay.
One test away.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that? One
No.
test away. I'm the foremost academic on the show. Did you know that, Rucka?
I do now.
Okay. So it's in the German area. So
Okay.
Some cream
Bavaria
filled area.
Yeah, it's a very cream-filled area. Thank you, Mikey. A German law professor. That's the guy. Okay, Adam Weishaupt. He's a German law professor who believes strongly in Enlightenment ideals and his Illuminati order, which sought to promote those ideals among elites. Weishaupt wanted to educate Illuminati members in reason, philanthropy, and other secular values so that they could influence political decisions when they came to power. That doesn't sound so bad, does it?
No, not so far.
Not so far.
I'm a little weird on the people in power part of that.
Yeah, why is that?
Why do you need people to sneak these reason into the government? Can't people just reason?
Well, sneak has a negative connotation.
All right. What was
That's
his plan again?
To influence people in power.
Okay.
All right, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, no, so that's it. And it's a secret organization.
That's it?
Yeah.
We're debating an organization that existed for 10 years, 300 years ago?
Well, allegedly existed. A lot of people still think it exists today.
Well, I thought that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Or
we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Is that the end of the story?
That's the origin story of the Illuminati.
If you're looking for like a definition of Illuminati, here's where it started.
Yeah, this is where it started from. Now, just because you know what else started in around 1776? Some people would say America.
Some people
Yeah, some people.
call them sheeple.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, Dillon, let's hear this.
No.
You opened it.
There's no 1776 conspiracy, not that
Okay.
I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah. So let's see. The Illuminati started in 1776. America arguably started
How
around 1776.
convenient.
Very
I
convenient.
think
That's
Wealth
right.
of Nations was also published that year.
You might be right.
Little fun
Not
fact.
sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the Illuminati, long-time old secret organization.
Mm-hmm.
People say, and there is some history. I think around the early 1800s, the Illuminati and the Freemasons were kind of there were two famous secret societies that were around the world and America specifically. The Freemasons, mostly in the world, and there was some talk for a little while of the Illuminati infiltrating the Freemasons because they wanted to influence people in the Freemasons, and supposedly that actually happened at some point. There was the Freemasons became a political party for a little while, and there was an anti-Freemason political party that was running against them. And some people say that was the Illuminati running against the Freemasons because they wanted control.
Who's
And then
the Freemasons?
the Freemasons is another secret society in America where it's kind of like I don't know if it's secular or religious. because I think
it's more secular.
it's supposed to be secular, but they
Well, it
encourage.
was like pretty ritualistic from what I recall, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where that falls on the spectrum. Didn't they like sort of circle jerk and stuff with candles around them? And
I
things
mean,
like
ask
Mick-
him.
MGTOW,
He's
yeah.
the one that knows about it.
that? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there were a lot of circle jerks. If there was, occasionally, I
Just the
wouldn't say
occasional ceremonial circle jerk. That's it. Just like
Right.
once a year, I think,
Yeah.
maybe.
that. I don't think that's the defining act of the Freemasons.
It was
if
just
you,
a supporting act.
well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Not all circle jerkers are Freemasons, but all Freemasons are circle jerkers. Is
Right.
that what we're
There you
getting at?
That's
it's like
right.
you kiss one guy. Are you gay? No, you just kiss one dude. Right, just one time.
That's right.
Let's get
Yeah.
on with it.
Okay, so the Illuminati was allegedly infiltrated the Freemasons. Then the anti-Illuminati party fell apart. And then around the 1700s, late 1700s, there was a duke. I forget which country he was in, but he outlawed secret societies. So that's when, right around the time, what? Rucka?
Late 1700s.
Late 1700s.
There was
yeah.
already it was already a late 1700s when the Illuminati was
like
invented.
around 1791.
Was
This was
even
17
later.
All
yeah.
right, even
About
later.
Super
About-
later,
like last-
1700s.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
At
right,
the
so-
end of the 1700s.
So he outlawed secret societies,
Yes. He
which would
tried.
be hard because they're
Right.
secret.
It's
Wow.
kind of, yeah.
Well, he.
can only
I
outlaw the
don't
ones
like
know
your
about.
attitude, Rucka.
I'm asking. Oh, and who is this guy?
He was the Archduke
A
of
duke
something.
of something.
Of
Yeah,
like
Duke of
Germany or Bavaria?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I think that happened around 1791.
Oh.
Okay, so look at the timetable here, right? The Illuminati created in 1776.
We're tracking.
Went to 1785, and then this Archduke, and supposedly they disbanded in 1785. So why in 1791 would this Archduke have to outlaw secret societies if they no longer exist? Hey, how'd you get that sound effect?
I don't know.
Isn't it the same reason that this might be side note, but like why you'd beef up security after 9/11 kind of a thing?
That's right,
Yeah.
Mikey. You do.
Wait a minute. At this
Exactly.
pace, we've covered 5 years in the 1700s. When are we going to get to present day? Should I come back in a little while?
Okay. You know what? Sounds like I'm going to have to bring out the big guns
All right.
right away.
Okay.
All right. Here's the bulletproof argument.
Mm-hmm.
Definitive proof
Oh man.
that the Illuminati exists.
Brace yourself.
Okay.
Yep.
I am an Illuminati member. There you go.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Eat shit. I'm an Illuminati member. That's right. How can you refute that? There you go, Mike D. What do you got to say?
I mean, I don't know that any society would let you in.
They don't
So
need to.
You just like anointed yourself a member without anybody accepting your application?
They don't have to. The Illuminati is a way of life, first of all. It's a philosophy,
I see.
right? And I'm promoting Enlightenment ideals. My goal is to put people in power who will promote those ideals. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, separation of church and state. These are all Enlightenment ideals, are they not? Tolerance, constitutional power, constitutional government. I'm a big proponent of the scientific method, of science in general. True or false? If one Catholic exists, you can say that Catholicism still exists, right? Mm-hmm. And if one Illuminati member exists by extension, then the Illuminati exists.
But then is the power of your argument just stating it, therefore it's so?
I do believe everything I've said. And let me go further. Here's a
Okay.
step further. The Illuminati adopted the owl as their symbol, right? Owl symbolism. And Rucka,
It's a real hoot.
I know you're I know you're just a guest on the show, but a couple episodes ago, we talked about the best pet to have, and I was a big proponent of birds. Well, guess what species an owl is? It's a bird.
Oh my God.
What, Rucka?
I thought the Illuminati are like in control of things.
Yeah.
That's the point of them.
No. The Illuminati don't control. They influence people in control.
Okay, who are you influencing in control?
It's a fucking secret society, Rucka. I'm not going to tell you. I am an
Wait,
influential
hold
person,
on,
am I not?
But wait, is the outcome of your influence also a secret? Is your, in other words, is your work so weak that the impact of what you do is also impossible to notice?
No, it's not impossible to notice. People notice it every day, Mike D. That's a good question, though.
Uh-huh.
I will say this, though.
Okay.
The Illuminati also famously adopted pseudonyms. I'm Maddox, your host of the show. They had complicated hierarchies like Novice, Minerval, and Illuminated Minerval, and other ranks. I have moderators in training, deputy moderators, maharajas of moderation, and supervisors of cum dumpsters. I have
Wrong.
ranks?
It was
What?
superintendent.
Oh, superintendents of
See,
come-down
you're not
stores, yeah.
really Illuminati.
Well, you're a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Illuminati sometimes misspeak.
Right.
And the Illuminati are anti-royal? I'm anti-royal. There you go.
What do you mean? You wear that fucking crown and sit on the...
It's satire. He's doing it as satire.
Yeah, that's right, Rucka.
Interesting.
You don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Nice try.
Good argument.
Thank you.
Wow.
So what do you got to say about that?
I think if the argument is that I've just stepped into the sort of inner workings of the Illuminati right here in your studio, you win. You know, I don't know. I thought the conversation would be a little more intelligent.
Well, maybe Dillon has
All right.
more to add.
Yeah, what do you got, Dillon?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't know. Because that's the thing. Power is addictive. And once you reach a certain level of power and you start meeting other people with power, I imagine you all start to collude and you start to talk and you try to figure out, well, you've got this power and you've got this power. What can we all do together? And I don't know. It's like secret societies obviously exist and there's obviously a historical precedent for them. We have proof, but the question is like, how does something from 1776, A, does it actually still exist today? And B, in what form does it exist?
Well, hold on. A secret society isn't very secret if we know that it existed.
Well, then there's that too.
So, you know, so I don't know. Is the idea that the Illuminati are still sort of pulling the strings behind the scenes and actually making everything happen? Like, is that the core of what we're actually here to discuss?
Well, look, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the question is there a group of people that are controlling shit right
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Dillon, thank you. See? There you go.
But I mean,
Yeah.
people need to be controlled to a certain degree. So I mean,
Well, are we talking
these are those people.
Are we talking about labels here? Because if you want to ascribe this label to anyone in power who is controlling us, then can you just say, "Oh, it's the Illuminati"?
Well, see,
I mean,
there
what
you go.
proof? It's just a label, is it not? Then,
No, I mean, listen. Again, I'm gonna try to help you out.
please,
Okay, I feel like I got to step on your side of the argument just to give you a
yeah,
helping hand.
please do.
The idea of the Illuminati, I thought, was that there are people who sort of pull the strings of power in a non-obvious way. It's not those that you elect into government that are on a fucking ballot that you put a cross next to them that does not make them part of a secret society, that makes them a name on a fucking ballot. And they go into office and they make legislative decisions on a daily basis. That is not the Illuminati as I thought you were trying to argue. The Illuminati are folks that stand behind those people and make the real shit happen.
But-
Is that not what you're trying to say?
But Mike, just look at the history of our leaders. We've got Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump. Okay, maybe that wasn't the greatest.
Yeah,
Should have gone the other direction.
Yeah.
By the way, I think that's about the strongest argument for the Illuminati so far.
Yeah.
Well, there is
As
that.
bad as that was.
Previous, and actually, this would be interesting to know if this applies to Trump too. But I think prior to him, there was like some like 6th or 7th grader that did some study, and she found that all the presidents were actually related. I mean, I guess we're all related if you go back far enough. But she like traced it
Adam.
back, to Africa. She traced it back to a specific descendant and was like, all the presidents are descendants of this. I don't know. My phone's down there, so I could look it up. But I mean, that would be an interesting thing. Is like, is Trump an extension of that? Has he broken that trend? I don't know.
Well, so what if all the presidents are blood related? Do they know that they're related? Is their blood communicating with their ancestors and they're in on something? Because to me, like Trump was like, Obama was kind of like an outsider. Everyone was like, yeah,
supposed to be an outsider.
Well, no, right. He's
Sorry, we're
run.
getting a little political here.
Well, he's the unlikely candidate, and then he wins, and it's like, oh shit, everything's the Illuminati was overturned, and then it's like, oh, okay,
They're back.
they're back.
Yeah.
Then Trump he's the double outside. He's supposed to be a man of the people, right? He runs. Everything's gonna be different. He gets in. I don't know how much is different. I mean, he's whatever. He's the president of the same country as the last few presidents.
Wait.
Yeah.
Have we gone into an era where we're saying our actual elected leaders are part of the Illuminati, or are we saying that there's an Illuminati?
I think my point
What
is
are you
that
saying?
when these outsiders run for president and people are going like, yeah, dream on, the elections are fixed anyway, but then they win and people are like, yeah, we finally got one in, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're just going through the same motions as the other presidents. It's like if there is the Illuminati, the president is taking orders from them.
Well, hold on. I got an argument here that I just noticed something about what Mike said. Okay, because Mike, I think you deflated your own argument because you said that the Illuminati, as a secret society, if they are in power, should be controlling that power in a non-obvious way, right?
No. I was trying to help you out because you seem to be struggling. I'm trying to
I'm not
understand what it is that you're saying.
Please, Mike, I'm an Illuminati member. I'm not struggling at all.
Okay.
But
If anything, he wants you to think that he's struggling.
that's right.
It's a
He's
standard
doing a great
Illuminati
job,
tactic.
yeah.
Well, do you believe that, though? Do you believe that they have to exert their influence in a non-obvious way?
Let me be very clear. I don't believe that they exist. Okay. I'm trying to say, when are you going to take a stand? Are you actually saying that there are people behind the scenes that are controlling the corridors of power around the world, and that is a fact of the last 250 years
But I think-
life, or what exactly are you saying?
Well, let's just look at their MO. They set out to influence people in power, and those would be politicians. And their ideals were Enlightenment ideals: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Where have we heard that before? Where have we heard separation of church and state? Oh, the Founding Fathers. So if you want to argue that the Illuminati, A, didn't exist or doesn't currently exist, and also it's a secret society, then isn't, and I know this is kind of a tenuous argument, but isn't the lack of evidence of their existence evidence of their existence?
Right.
Wow.
Again,
Slam
I think it comes down to that line between control and influence. Like, you know, if an Illuminati member were to step into office, then they would be directly controlling things. Whereas if someone from the Illuminati was around someone in office, they are influencing things, which is what I imagine some people would argue happened to Trump, is that he was supposed to go in and be Mr. Outsider, but then he was influenced by the deep state and the power elite and the Illuminati and whatever you want to call it. So I mean, again, is Trump a member of the Illuminati, or is he simply being controlled by members of the Illuminati? And who are those members? We probably don't know. So,
Or none of the above.
or none of the above.
Right.
That's also
Let's keep that as a possibility.
it's always a possibility.
But again, I'm just in the spirit of helping you out. Is there an aspect, if you're basically saying that the Illuminati are that evident that they basically drew up our Constitution and that they're sitting in the Oval Office right now, I'm trying to understand whether there's a secret component to being an Illuminati, or is everyone just Illuminati? What makes the Illuminati? Are they doing something secretive, or is it just all the obvious stuff that you're talking about, which makes nothing about them secret? What are you actually getting
these
at?
questions are something I think an Illuminati member would ask.
Okay, I see.
Oh no, collusion.
No, I mean if your point thus far is like, look at the Constitution, look at certain things that we do, look at certain things that people say. What you're pointing to are things that we can all observe.
Right.
So, okay, I get that, but isn't the point of Illuminati that they're doing secret shit in the background?
Well, it was.
not.
or
It
that the
was.
influence is in the background, and all we see is the effect of the influence.
Yeah,
If that
it
makes
was
sense.
at some point. Now, Mike, as an intelligent person, you know that labels change over time. And the Illuminati started out as being a secret society. We can all agree on that because that's how they define themselves. They were a secret society. But over time, I mean, clearly everybody knows about it. It's a meme on the internet. You can look up tons of books and Wikipedia articles and things have been written about it. It's okay that this secret society that once started out secret is no longer secret, but still exerts some power over our government, over our way of life. And if you want to even point to our current, contemporary politicians, George W. Bush and John Kerry, during the election that they ran against each other, were both members of a secret sect called the Cross and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
Or Skull and Bones, that's right. In, was it Yale? Yale
Yeah,
had
and they
it,
openly joked about it.
right,
Like-
that they were part of this secret order,
Yep.
the Skull and Bones.
And
Just because some secret societies are no longer secret doesn't mean that they still don't exert power. Maybe the Illuminati, that what we know of as the Republican and Democrat parties today, is what we would have called the Illuminati back in the 1700s, right? Because these ideals did become our government. So these people who were trying to influence our government, well, guess what? They did a pretty fucking good job, didn't they? I mean, isn't it evidence that we value the Constitution and ideals?
It's not that the founding fathers believed in these principles. It's that over in Bavaria, somebody snuck these ideas into their government, and they ended up taking over North America.
Well, their goal was to influence society at large.
Oh,
Yeah, you were arguing that they do exist, Rucka.
they do exist.
Yeah.
Well, this is all evidence piling up on
It
top
is.
of evidence.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean,
If you wanted to keep something a secret, wouldn't you make it a meme on the internet? can you trace this meme back to where it started? Maybe they made it a meme so that no one would take the allegation seriously and they can get away with it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like inventing the phrase conspiracy theory in the wake of the JFK assassination. It's like you automatically have this phrase that you can use for anyone who dares to question really any aspect of it. So I
still don't know who killed JFK or why, but what were you going to say, Mike?
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm not sure that conspiracy theory is used to describe anyone who questions it. I think it's used to describe someone who comes up with answers without a basis in fact. If you can question it like, hey, how did he die? That doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. It's like, hey, I know how he died. An alien came and shot him in the head.
That's where you get that theory part of it. Yeah, that's the dangerous part.
But the questioning in and of itself doesn't label someone a conspiracy theorist. It's coming up with a cockamamie answers to the questions that does.
Do you feel like, Mike, that if somebody asks too many questions at some point that they are tending towards lunacy? Like, let me give you an example.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, let me give you an example. Right after every mass shooting in this country, there seems to be a trend where people jump on board the crisis actor theory, that this was a false flag operation pushed by the far left elements in our society to try to push their gun control agenda.
Right.
And so they say that this didn't happen. These children didn't die. There's crisis actors, and it's a big conspiracy. And they're saying, well, look, I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just asking questions. Why don't we investigate it? Don't you think that then that tends towards lunacy when you start to question things that seem like far reaches of the imagination like that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you have a very loaded question that sort of implies an answer while you're asking it, yeah, sure, then it's not really an open-ended question like, hey, I wonder what happened, or could this have happened, or do you go on a 12-minute rant and put a question mark at the end of it and call that a question? That doesn't qualify as an open-ended question anymore. It's you're veering into the sphere of lunacy. I would
it's
agree
like
with
one
that.
you're like searching for the answer, and the other you already have the answer, and you're hoping that that's what people.
Yeah, you
come
just
back
sort of
with.
raise the intonation of your voice at the end of the rant and turn it into a question. Yeah, no, then you're still a nutcase.
Well, okay, so let's look at some recent examples. Okay, you got Pizzagate, the Pizzagate conspiracy. What do you know about that, Mike?
I know it to be true. I'm kidding. Well, I know that Hillary's the devil, and so it probably makes sense
that she's running a pedophilia ring in a pizza parlor.
I mean, it's all bullshit. You get equivalent bullshit on both sides of the political spectrum, right? I mean,
well, but then it veered into dangerous territory where someone actually showed up with a gun and shot the place up. So that's when
right,
people are no longer just asking questions.
Well, so. I mean, but do you think it's a mark of intelligence for somebody when you're pitched an idea like Pizzagate? Mike, you're giving me a confused look. I want to know what you think. Okay, you're not confused about.
He's got it.
He's handling it okay.
Yeah, he's taking it all
I
in.
love pizza, Maddox.
Oh, Donald! I forgot to introduce Donald Trump. He's always sitting in the corner on his stool eating Skittles.
Thanks, fucker.
Whoa, Mr. President!
Whoa,
that's
we
the
need
most
more Skittles, Maddox.
Yeah, okay. We'll have some hummus instead. We don't have Skittles today. We just have hummus. So back to the question though. Do you think that it's a mark of intelligence to entertain every theory or every idea?
No.
Okay. What then do you use? What metrics? What guide? I guess. How do you qualify whether an idea should be entertained or not? Like I just pitched to you Pizzagate. What do you know about Pizzagate? Do you think? I mean, clearly you don't believe in it.
I mean, I think that people with a vague sense of intelligence would try to connect the dots. Recognize patterns from the past. Think about the possibilities of things happening, and there's a normal curve to all events in life, right? If something is sitting out in sort of 3 standard deviations on either side of the mean, it is less and less likely to happen. So sure, the probability exists, but if you did, sort of stats 101 in college, which you never went to.
I went to college, Mike D.
You went.
Okay.
You never graduated.
I never graduated. Didn't need to.
All right.
You got everything you need.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose in theory, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but if we entertain all possibilities every single time, that's not a mark of intelligence. That's a mark of somebody that is not willing to go with the likely outcome first, and then start reaching into the darker corners and say, all right, well, let's eliminate the obvious first. Let's not start with the crazy first.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Mike, because what you just described is heuristic thinking. Right? Heuristics, for people who don't know, if you haven't heard this phrase before, it's how we as humans make decisions. We don't have time or capacity to evaluate every possible outcome of everything. Like, for example, should you walk down a dark alley? There's no rational reason that you can say no, other than a quick heuristic judgment that you made about what you know about dark alleys in the past. You can't predict the future. You can't predict if you walk down that dark alley, you're going to get stabbed or jumped. But you know in the past that other people have, and there is a risk of it. So you just quickly make a heuristic evaluation, a heuristic judgment, and that's how we come to decisions. So you look at something like Pizzagate, and you make a heuristic value and say, okay, it doesn't exist, it's not a thing. But where this conspiracy theory comes from, of crisis actors and false flags, is reality. Because in around the Vietnam era, our government, there were people in our military who proposed a false flag operation. It's called the Bay of Pigs. Right? Is that what it's called, Dillon?
Northwoods.
Northwoods. Okay. Now, can you explain that?
Close.
Northwoods was basically a plan to provide pretext for a military intervention in Cuba. So,
right.
Yes, essentially mock funerals for victims, and setting off explosives outside the base, and sending radio transmissions, and having the media help out a little bit with selling the story. So yeah, they put it on paper. It got as high up as Kennedy, and Kennedy said no. Basically.
Okay. Right.
So the argument is, if someone's lied before, it's possible that someone will lie again in the future.
Yes.
Sure, you win that one.
Yeah.
Well, but again, it's like regular people conspire to do shit all the time. And they're regular people that don't have the ability to know that they can get away with things. So what is to argue that people with the ability to get away with things would not conspire to do greater acts of evil, which is not automatically, it's not a blank check for everything to automatically be a conspiracy, but it's just to try, I guess, a thought experiment to try and put yourself in the position of someone who would be considered a part of the Illuminati, whether or not they would even call themselves the Illuminati. And that's where it kind of comes down to too, is like, is the Illuminati now just kind of an idea? Is it something that someone considers himself a part of? Or is it now, in fact, just a fucking meme now on the internet, and the Illuminati has evolved into something that isn't even called the Illuminati anymore? It's just people with power. I mean, it's labels. That's the problem.
I think it's just people with too much time on their hands, honestly. It's people that are bored, people that look at things and, try to imagine things that aren't there, because you know what? It can't just all be face value, because that wouldn't be interesting enough. I got too little going on in my life. I've got time to kill. So why don't I invent some lunatic chain of events that could potentially, just maybe, if I had a touch of this and a spice of that, sound plausible. Okay, if that's how you like to entertain yourself, I'm going to go out and have a drink with my friends. You can make up a whole sequence of events that makes no fucking sense. And you could start there, whereas I'll start with the rational. And I'll start to eliminate the more rational. And eventually I may get to where you are, but I'm sure not going to start there. I'm going to start with what seems more plausible. I'm going to adopt an 80-20 approach. I'm going to try and use my noggin. And then I'm going to start to eliminate. And then I start to go to the crazy. Some people like to start at the crazy. More power to them.
So that's an argument for Occam's razor, right? So Occam's razor is the explanation. The simplest explanation is usually true. The one with the least amount of assumptions you have to make, right? Do you agree with that, Rucka?
Depends on the context.
What can you think of a context in which Occam's razor doesn't apply?
I mean, explaining why the sun rises and sets. The simple explanation is that some god is pushing it across the sky. The more complicated answer is the truth.
I would disagree, because in order to explain the god, you would have to explain his existence and his mechanics and his physics and his power and create an entire physical system to explain how that god is pushing a sun and why.
Well, just deciding that he's there pushing it is simpler than actually discovering gravity and gravitational pull and all that shit.
You could take your example and put a little twist on it. It's the example that the sun rotates around us, right?
Okay, there you go.
And maybe that's a more nuanced view, which I think your point stands, which is that's the easier example. Look at this ball of fire moving around in the sky. Yeah. Gee, little did we know it's the other way around.
It would also be simpler to say the Earth is flat. I mean, just look at the floor; it's flat.
Okay, that's an argument then I guess you could buy. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a simple argument.
Yeah.
But then saying that it's round, Then we need to have the whole conversation.
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean it's round? If
Okay.
I keep going straight, I'll end up back here. That's stupid.
You made a point, actually, Rucka. I was ready to shit all over you. but
By
you
the
made-
way,
yeah, what?
What happens if I dig and I just keep digging and digging and digging and digging and
boy.
digging and digging and digging
Burn.
and digging?
Oh, no.
But I'm wearing a fire
Oh,
suit.
okay.
And I dig past.
magma-proof
Yeah.
I
suit.
dig through the core and keep digging and digging.
Let's hear this.
But I'm still,
keep digging, Rucka.
I'm still facing down. I'm still facing down.
Yes.
digging.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
digging, I'm digging, I'm digging. And then I get to the other end of the earth.
You'll drown.
Well, let's
You'll
see.
come
Let's
up
see
at
where
the
it's
No,
going.
bottom.
well, let's say there's
Motion.
land on the
Let's see
other
where it's
side.
going.
All right.
So you got through the earth.
And then I get to the bottom and I'm still facing down, digging down. Then
But
I
actually, now you're facing up.
Right. At what point do I start facing up?
Once
Is
you're
this
past.
a real question?
At what point are you suddenly facing upward?
Okay, so
Past the middle
point.
Rucka Science Corner.
Yeah.
this
That's a
is-
question. Oh, yeah.
Going out with a bang,
Make
folks.
fun of the guy asking the questions.
Yeah,
I'm just asking questions,
with
everybody.
JFK.
Science is gay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rucka Science Corner. Anyway, Rucka, good question. If anyone wants to call in next, you can explain what
Yeah.
would happen. Anyway, in an episode where we're arguing whether or not the Illuminati exists, you've managed to say the most ridiculous.
What did I say? I asked a question.
Yeah, I don't know why you did. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyway, back to the Illuminati. Back to something less ridiculous.
Let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, come on, guys. Illuminati. Come on.
Let's stay focused.
Okay, Mike, we can wrap this up pretty quick because we got a ton of voicemail, great news stories to cover this week. But I just want to say this: whether or not you believe the existence of the Illuminati, we can all agree that the Illuminati's goals and their philosophies are exactly what we have today, more or less, in our government.
No, that's such a bunch of bullshit.
Well,
Wait,
how's it bullshit?
wait. Firstly, we can debate whether they exist, but we can all agree that this is their goal.
Wait
Wait a minute.
State, their
what
stated
about
goal,
those of us that haven't concluded that they exist?
that doesn't matter.
Can
I'm
we
saying
still agree on the goal?
I'm saying regardless.
But they did exist in 1776. So
All
is that
right.
what you're talking about? Their
Yeah.
original
You're
ideals in
talking about in
76?
the 1700s?
Okay, look, there's no evidence of the secret society, yet you can't say that they're no longer secret.
No. What I'm saying is there's no aspect of anything that you said that points to any secrecy whatsoever. You've literally said that the formerly secret Illuminati are now our world. Okay. Is that your point? So Donald Trump or our politicians or Jay-Z or Queen Elizabeth, whoever the fuck else is being called as being part of the Illuminati, all right, they exist. What are they doing that's non-obvious? I'm asking for the third time. What is secret? What is beyond our comprehension? What's behind the scenes?
Nobody's
'Cause there's-
saying they're still secret, Mike.
So
they're out in
what
the
are
open.
they?
They're
What-
just an
what are-
organization.
But
It's
what do
called
they
the-
do? But what do they do? What
what
does
do
the
they do?
Illuminati do?
They rule us. They are our government.
Okay, so can we so then we can absolutely drop that word Illuminati and replace them with politicians?
Yes.
Okay, so
U.S. politicians. They're not totalitarians. They're not authoritarians. They are not royalty. They're opposed to royalty and authoritarianism. But they are our U.S. government. Today, what we have is exactly in line with Illuminati ideals, which is life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, separation of church and state, a constitutional government.
These
And-
are all principles this country has abandoned. Why would I never realized the Illuminati are actually the ones preserving personal liberty and that the rest of the country is opposed to it.
I'm saying that the Illuminati's stated goals, were these values.
Why would you have to slip that and sneak that into the influencer realm? Why wouldn't you just distribute common sense to the people in the street and try to convince them, which is exactly what happened.
Right. I mean, it almost seems like this is such higher order thinking that only one secretive group could come out with the idea of personal rights and personal property and life and the pursuit of happiness. Like that is something that is so obscure and so cerebral that it needs to be sort of snuck in the back door. It can't just be agreed to by the average
And in
guy on
order
the
for
street.
it to take hold, the average person, the masses, need to know about it and agree with it.
Well,
Right.
so they it started out as a secret organization. They pitched these ideas, and maybe it caught on.
But they were so revolutionary. Like, hey, let me give you your freedom. Holy crap. Nothing I ever thought about as a peasant. I love to be enslaved. That's an amazing and radical idea.
Yeah.
I hope you stay behind the scenes and sort of, propagate this idea more widely.
Yeah.
Well,
Be,
whether
be careful if you say it too openly because people might kill you for saying that they should be free.
So
well, it was a serious problem in the 1700s. That Archduke outlawed the Illuminati
society.
because these values stood in opposition of royalty, of monarchy.
yeah.
Monarchy doesn't want people to think for themselves. They don't
Right.
want people to have independence. They don't want people to pursue their own life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness comes from them, comes from on high. That's what monarchies want to do. They want to say, you want happiness, we'll give it to you. But it comes through us.
So Dillon, the people in power, the people behind the scenes, is this what they're working towards? Personal freedom for everyone?
Maybe personal freedom for them, and I guess that's where it comes down to: is what are the Illuminati fighting for, and who do those principles apply to? Do they apply to just them? Do they apply to everyone? Does it apply to them and people they know? So
It applies to society at large, and people kind of presume that because it's a secret society that there's something nefarious about secrecy. There isn't always. Sometimes secrecy is a good thing, and here's an argument for government. A lot of people I've talked to. We had Michael Malice on the show. He's an anarchist. He believes in no government. He wants there to be no government. But here's an argument for government. There are national security concerns and risks and things that we do behind the scenes that if we talked about in open would deflate our operations publicly.
Quick question. Quick question. If there's no government, who would guard the coasts?
Oh shit!
Yeah, good question.
Checkmate.
Good question, Mikey.
Could anyone just come in and sail in, or just swim in, or just bring anything in? Really?
Yes, unless it was guarded by private militias or private, people.
All the way around the nation.
All the
Does
way
Michael,
around the nation, yeah.
Does Michael Malice believe that that's okay? Like,
He wants police and I don't know about military. I haven't heard him say,
okay.
but he
Sorry.
wants police to be private.
got it.
I would like to have Michael Malice on to actually have this discussion and debate, but I do want to make the case for government. So if you have a so publicly, we have stated after 9/11, we say, okay, any country not only in support of Osama bin Laden, but simply harboring him is our enemy. And so we've made that very public statement.
Wait.
George W. Bush.
Any country that's not only in support of him, but harboring him as well.
Or not actively helping us try to get him
but
against
harboring
us.
him as well.
Yes.
So we're starting with generally people that support him, not only them, but the people that actually have them in their country.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It
So
seems like a bit of an inverted hierarchy of priority there. But go ahead.
Okay.
It's like saying we are not only going after countries that are fans of Hitler, but we're also going to go over the country where Hitler is currently marching.
Yeah, they can't hide behind the argument that say, okay, well, Hitler's in our country, but we're not doing anything to stop him. We're like, well, you're part of the problem.
Interesting.
We're gonna take you out too, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But where are you going with this?
So here's where I'm going with this. So
I see what you were
Pakistan-
doing.
Yeah, it was just
It
technicality.
was just semantics. That's all I was doing.
get it.
It was just,
It was just fucking with you.
because of geo. I know. I just know this from Rucka being a guest on today. But geopolitics has become complicated sometimes. We have allies in India, we have allies in Pakistan, but we don't want to piss off either one because they have some tension between them. Publicly, Pakistan has had a lot of problems with terrorism, but privately, we may behind the scenes have backdoor deals with their government that says, look, we're going to come in, we're going to take out Osama bin Laden, we know he's in this location, he allows us, he grants us passage on airspace. Publicly, if the president of Pakistan says, hey, we're letting this foreign country come in and do an invasion, that would be political suicide for him. But behind closed doors, that's why it's necessary to have government, especially a secret government. So secrecy sometimes is good, sometimes is necessary.
Yeah, okay. It's completely tangential to what we're talking about, but that's fine. I think what we're dancing around here is the common conception of the Illuminati is a lot of sort of pretty out there conspiratorial kinds of ideas. The fact that there are, celebrities that are part of this cult. The fact that I think Denver Airport is like one of the headquarters, right? That they're sitting on top of some cockamamie bullshit underground. That's I don't know, some cavern full of
The murals are
dead
pretty
water.
fucking creepy.
Well, there's creepy, and
I'm not saying it's
there's not
proof.
creepy. But I think what we're not acknowledging is the fact that there are a lot of crazies out there with a lot of time on their hands, making up also fantastical stories. And this is just how they fill their time. They live in their parents' basements, and they sort of go, check that out. That's weird. Must be part of the Illuminati. Check at the dollar bill. That must be part of the Illuminati. why are we not acknowledging the complete lunacy of most people that support the idea of the Illuminati? Why are we adding sort of this layer of sophistication and factual basis to these guys that were in the late 1700s, and that somehow lets all the lunatics that live today off the hook? There's a bunch of fucking crazies out there, and if they believe in the Illuminati, they are fucked up. They should seek medical help immediately.
Why doesn't Mike want us to believe in the Illuminati?
Yeah, very interesting.
I don't care if you do, but I do think that you need professional help.
Little reverse psychology there.
Yeah.
Oh, professional help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big pharma, big psych,
Yeah.
big psych ward.
I think you might benefit.
Yeah, should I go tell him I'm afraid of the Illuminati? See if I end up in a padded room.
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far in this episode, we have outed 2 people in this room, me and Mike D, as Illuminati members.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
God
So
damn it.
so
But I think
yeah.
I think what it comes down to is, like you said, governments require secrecy, and the concept, I guess, the rational concept of the Illuminati is the people who are in larger control of that secrecy. So, not necessarily a group of people planning school shootings and, you know, faking landing on the moon, but just an extension of the group of people that are controlling the secrecy that keeps things running. Essentially, that keeps.
I mean, one of the challenges that I've had with, and I don't know if we can equate conspiracy theories with what we're talking about now, is and you know, we don't have to go there, but sort of the 9/11 conspiracy as well as others similar ilk, is that the level of competence of those who pull those things off is so superior to anything that we're actually ever managed to pull off that, you know, if you take 9/11 and all the theories around that, you know, the conspiracy theories around that, is that was such a military precision event that was coordinated to a level of specificity which exceeds anything that the government or any other human being has ever been able to pull off, including landing a man on the moon. And that so for these things to be true, you're ascribing qualities and levels of ability to people that aren't able to pull anything else off to nearly the same level of effectiveness. But when it comes down to these things, oh my God, the pieces just stack up and everything is just sort of picture perfect, and that's how it happens.
But
it just makes no sense.
But you are also referring to people that are in the public who you actually see,
Right, as opposed to people who don't exist.
or people that you don't know exist.
Right. So you're correct in that I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt to people that I don't know that exist.
I'm just saying, coming back to the concept of the Illuminati, that's who these people are. It's the people that you don't see that are outside of this realm of normal decision making that you refer to.
Let me just take away some of the mysticism of the Illuminati, okay? So back when this country was still young, we had the Whigs and the Federalist Party, right? And these people, that, you know, these parties are no longer around by name, but they're the same people. They became Republicans and Democrats, and over time, these parties morphed and changed their ideals and values, et cetera, and the labels kind of shifted. You got the Tea Party offshoot, and then you've got, you know, even the Socialist Party in the United States, which is not, you know, an American thing. But anyway, these ideas, these parties, kind of, it's the same people that pass on generation to generation. I'm just saying, entertain the thought that the Illuminati exists today, and we call them Republicans, and we call them Democrats. That's all it is. It's the people in power, and whether or not we adhere to these ideals as closely as we should, these Enlightenment ideals, the fact of the matter is, the Illuminati's outset goals were to push these ideas in politics and be influential. And the truth of the matter is, we do have these values that we supposedly are supposed to adhere to in society. And you can either argue that it is the Illuminati and they succeeded their goals, or it's not. That's what it comes down to.
But if for your point to be true, it means that anybody that runs for office either was not an Illuminati the day before they decide to run and they become an Illuminati, or that this is an entirely preordained thing. That in fact, you know, unborn generations of future politicians are already preordained to be part of the Illuminati. Are we saying either that is the case, or that the Illuminati have become everybody and therefore it's just a synonym for human? What are we saying? Is that someone gets elevated to the Illuminati when they run for office?
No, that's a good question, Mike. If you are part of the Illuminati influence, right? Again, going back to these ideals, their beliefs, you're part of their influence. If you've been taught by them, if you've been taught these values, then they were taught to you by people who are descendants of the Illuminati.
So anyone who took a civics class and learned about
Or has a
life,
pulse.
liberty, and
Correct.
pursuit of
Correct.
happiness.
Yeah.
Well, but that's not always the case. There are people who run for office that do not hold these values, and they are not Illuminati.
Yeah, that's 99% of them.
That's not 99%.
Wait,
Most politicians today have completely turned their back on America.
Well, and what's the cutoff? I mean, are mayors part of the Illuminati, or is it just governors up, for example?
managers.
Anybody who is running for office, you don't even have to consciously be aware of it. Their influence is there. They set out with these ideals, these goals. You could make the argument that they have succeeded in influencing society.
But let's say for a moment that you're correct. Has the meaning become so diluted that there is no Illuminati anymore? That their impact has been, according to you, so overwhelming and so complete that in fact everybody is an Illuminati? And so
Yeah.
there is an Illuminati because everyone and everything is Illuminati. Is that your point?
For the most part, yeah. We are an Illuminati government.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Guys, vote on madcastmedia.com.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'll just leave it on this this note. If this is the first time you're listening to the show, we do try to argue both sides of the debate, both sides of the issue as persuasively as we can. I think I did the best as I can, trying to defend the existence of the Illuminati, or at least at the very least, you can admit that their Illuminati ideals still exist today. And whether or not you want to ascribe those to the Illuminati or not, that's up to you. But that's how the vote's going to come down. Yes or no? Does the Illuminati exist?
And don't get us started on lizard people.
Oh man! Tune in next week. I'm not going to be horseshoed into that bullshit debate. Well, Rucka won't be here to do it, so yay!
Yeah.
Rucka, do you have a wrap up for us?
Yeah. Listen, we have the government that we want. We get what we ask for. We want a lobby system. We get a lobby system. We want regulation. We get a government that regulates us. We want welfare. We get welfare. The politicians are put in a position where they need to pick favorites, where they need to pick which lobby. Yeah, they go with the lobby that's donating money to them, but those lobbyists only have... They're also put in a position where they need to lobby, where the government has become dog eat dog, because that's the system that we want. We want a bunch of crabs climbing on top of each other. We don't want individual freedom, because we've turned our back on the Illuminati. We've turned our back on individual freedom. One more thing. I can hear you laughing, Mike.
No, because
You're not supposed to talk. Yeah, you're talking. This is not acceptable. This is not how it works. One more thing. We've gotten a lot of comments about my hair. People have made fun. They poked fun. Just so you're aware, people watching on YouTube, there's a big-ass light right behind me shining on the back of my head. That is not a way to make anyone's hair look good. It's not a way to make anyone look flattering. The other light in the room is way up on the fucking corner of the ceiling, pointing down on people, making the hair of the people on that side of the room, Maddox, look spiffy and terrific.
This is
Hey, shut the fuck up. No, I'm not going to ever say shit. All right, it's a Rucka wrap-up.
Oh my god!
It's a Rucka wrap.
What the hell was that?
What the hell is
Rucka
what?
wrap-up,
Like
man.
this is.
I had some parting words for the
hair
people.
and lighting and the back of my head
Yes, you gotta
and what? Oh my god!
Hey, you don't know what it's like to be disrespected every day of your life.
You're
Oh
right.
yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
don't.
I don't. What's that like? Holy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Thank you, Rucka. Really, really poignant final wrap up for.
The final wrap
The
up.
final Rucka wrap up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, boy.
Wait. Maybe you should give him another shot. Do you have any wiser words to end with?
Wow.
If it comes to you, we'll give you another wrap up before the episode ends. But
Okay.
we got to wrap up last week's debate. Last week, Mike D and Dillon, we debated whether or not men should go their own way. And that's right, Mikey, you weren't here last week. Should men go their own way? It's MGTOW.
Yeah.
It's a philosophy that's encapsulated in one word, which is no. It's men saying no to a lot of things, especially marriage and family and, for a large part, relationships. What do you guys think? Mike, should men go their own way?
It depends which way.
Their own.
So listen, I think I don't know the sort of the meat behind the debate last week, but I would say that this world has gone absolutely insane. That being a male in today's culture has become probably the lost symbol of evil and power grabbing and I think sort of selfishness towards others, and I think that I am sick to fucking death of it. I'm sick of defending my gender. I'm sick of defending my race. I'm sick of defending my culture, and fuck all those who have to constantly applaud everybody that doesn't look like me or sound like me, and fuck all those that stood on the Oscar stage and were like, yay me because of my DNA. It's like, motherfucker, talk about your movie.
Someone doesn't like the fact that the patriarchy is ending.
Yeah,
Time's up. Hashtag.
Sounded a lot like a lot of protest from someone who's straight white male.
Yeah.
Hey,
There you go.
Is the world holding you down?
How do you know any of those three things?
That's right. We
How
don't know
do
that
you
he's-
know?
We don't know that he's straight, white, or male. That's
Thank you
because
very
We
much.
made 3 assumptions. I'm sorry. You know, Mikey, let
Exactly.
me
That's the
apologize to you.
entire-
Talking about
Already a
judging a book
problem.
by its cover.
Thank you.
No, Mike.
Thank you.
Actually, I agree with a lot of what you said. This is society has gotten so out of control. Our culture, especially with just demonizing A, white people, B, men, and C, straight people. So if you are any those 3 things, holy shit, watch your ass.
What about cis people?
That's well, okay, yeah. It's cisgendered straight white male. That's right.
What about able?
That's getting there. We're getting there.
What?
We're getting there to demonizing able people.
Oh, are you an ableist?
Are you an
Maddox?
ableist? How about young people? Are you an ageist?
I'm an ageist, absolutely.
Wait. Was this the, not to get into the debate of last week, but was this the core of the debate? Was
It had nothing
because-
to do
No,
with
it had
it.
nothing to do with this.
Well, but was the men going their own way being sort of triggered or started because of the shift against them in today's culture? Was that the idea?
I think a little bit that has something to do with it, but it's also, I think guys who are frustrated that they can't get laid. That's my. Hey, you know what's interesting is the guy who runs the MGTOW official MGTOW YouTube channel commented on last week's video.
Oh.
So hello to him. I'm curious to hear what he thought about the debate, and I think that we tried to do. Especially thank you, Rucka, for keeping it on track. But we tried to have a serious talk about MGTOW because it's easy to poke fun and make jokes and things like that. But I want to see what you guys think.
What about Dylan's opinion
Dylan.
on MGTOW?
What do you think, MGTOW?
You know, my dad went his own way, and I'm still kind of bummed about that. So I mean,
But he didn't because he
What
had
do you? Hold on. You mean he like went to the store to get cigarettes and never came back?
Basically, yeah, it's
All right.
basically a
I don't
sperm
think-
donor.
So,
So,
I don't think MGTOW is saying abandon your kids. They're saying don't have them
Don't
and
have them.
don't let some girl hook you in.
Right.
right, and that's
Well,
fine.
that sounds like that's what he did.
But
though.
I mean,
He didn't win.
it's why it's kind of hard for me to answer that.
What
But
do you-
do I think like men should like abandon all responsibilities and like should just say fuck marriage and
or
family and all that?
avoid those responsibilities.
I mean, don't jump into them just because you feel like you should, but don't abandon them if you have them. If
Right.
that makes any
Okay,
sense.
that does make
Right.
sense. And Mikey Bolts, should men go their own way? Should MGTOW?
Should men go their own ways?
Yeah. Should they abandon the pressure of society to have a family and get into relationships?
Did that have anything to do with Rucka going his own way? Was it kind of like because you just see? I can't see through Rucka's eyes though. I can't see through anyone's eyes.
Right.
I'd like to think that no matter what, if I'm going my own way, that's the way that I should be going. I think a lot of times we fabricate what we think is the light at the end of the tunnel for us, and then we start walking, and then we're undecided, and then we go on those side roads. But I believe that Rucka's doing it for the right reasons, and I think that he has to be passionate about something, or he's not going to give his best, and when he doesn't give his best, it slowly deteriorates him.
That's true.
And I think that everyone at this table feels the same way about whatever they're passionate about in this industry. If you're not in it 100%, then that will be the result. And I respect it, and I think you're a hell of a guy.
Thanks, bro.
And if this is the only thing I say in the episode, I'm really proud of it.
Well, thank you, Mike.
And I love you,
That's very
Rucka.
nice. That's very nice. Okay, well, that's a very good. Those are very good thoughts. Thank you guys for sharing. Well, we have the audience's results with 54% of the vote. Yes. Holy shit. Our audience, is a bunch of MGTOWs.
Interesting.
54%. And then I asked the following question, because this isn't really a thing that I know of, but should women go their own way?
Mm-hmm.
So should they eschew values like family and relationships and pursue their own careers and go their own way? With 51% of the vote. Yes. Holy shit. We got a bunch of fucking virgins.
So
in the
everyone
audience.
should just go their own way
Yeah.
and just
jack off.
That's right. Just jack off into extinction.
That's
Fuck
right.
it.
Yeah, it's the jack off part.
And that's how humans ended.
Seems to be where we're heading.
Yeah.
Bunch of jerk offs listen to the show. Well, guys, it's also that point in the show that we should talk about promotions. Okay, because we had a big demotion today. Rucka's just a guest now.
Yep.
But Mike D, this is your fourth time on the show now, right?
I think it's my third.
Third. Okay, third time on the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that qualifies you for a promotion.
Ooh.
So, I am very pleased to say, Mike D, you are going from moderator in training to moderator. Congratulations, Mike D.
I wish I knew before this debate took place. What am I moderating now?
You can moderate the debate. That's
I can moderate.
participate
You can participate.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
that's
Doesn't
cool.
mean
I'm very
very
flattered.
much.
Does it come with a pay bump?
No, you get a buzzer.
You
Do
get
I-
a
your
new
own
buzzer.
buzzer.
Do I get a corner office? Do I get an assistant? Company
Yeah.
car?
Yeah, you get an assistant.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's
company
cool.
car.
I
Yeah,
dig
yeah.
it. All right, I
Company car.
accept.
That was a
Accept.
pretty
Thank you.
solid wrap up before that he did with the Oscars
It absolutely
speech.
was,
that
yeah.
was some Rucka tier ranting right there.
Oh, I'm showing potential.
Yes,
I dig it.
Yeah.
someday.
One
Well,
day, one
let's
day.
speaking of potential, let's listen to some voicemail
Yeah.
that has none. Here's a call about MGTOW from last week's debate. Listen to this.
Hey Maddox, so you know who says bros before hoes? Losers that don't get laid. Fuck going your own way. I'm gonna go get some pussy.
Yeah.
It's a solid point.
Hell
Yeah, that's a solid point. That's
He
right.
knows what's up.
Yeah, that guy does know what's up. Here's another. This is a surprising MGTOW from history. Got a celebrity calling in. See if you guys recognize him.
Hello, Madcast. It is me, Adolf Hitler, and I am the first MGTOW. No, mine going thine own way. No longer shall we follow the Jews. I followed my career, and it was successful. Also, don't punch me. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was
Alright.
that successful when it ended in a suicide bunker. Or bunker suicide, rather.
That sounded more like a woman. I don't know if that was Hitler. Hitler like castrated or something. What was that? What was
I don't know.
that?
He said he's
Ava
Hitler.
Braun calling in for Hitler.
Exactly. That's right.
Well, here's another call. This is actually pretty interesting. It's about the MGTOW movement, the men going their own way movement, but from Japan. And I didn't know this was a thing that outside of the U.S., but I guess that's just cultural centrism. I don't know what it is, but this is from Japan. Listen to this. This is really interesting. Listen to this.
Hey Maddox, this is Oliver calling from Japan. Last week's debate on MGTOW was interesting, but if you want a real-life example about how such a movement destroys society, you only have to look at what it's done to the Japanese. There's an entire generation of young men here called Soushoku-kei Danshi, or herbivore men, who have basically adapted all the tenets of the MGTOW movement. These are Japanese males who say that they have no interest in dating or getting married because it's too expensive and too much trouble. It's more than just an internet trend here. Japan is currently facing a declining population problem, and these herbivore men are considered to be part of the cause since there's so many of them. In fact, it's such a well-known thing that the word herbivore man in Japanese is sort of an insult here, basically the same as cuck or incel.
Wow.
So if you think that MGTOW can't cause harm, think again. Anyways, I'm really going to miss Rucka after he leaves, and I think that he should do his own podcast. Perhaps Maddox can become his moderator and end each episode with a Maddox moment instead of a Rucka wrap-up.
Oh shit.
Of course, Rucka is free to promote or demote Maddox as much as he wants, so you better be on your best behavior.
Wow.
Catch you
Like a
later.
sex thing.
Oh wow, the script just flipped.
More of a
Yeah.
kinky.
I think Maddox Moment would be a good name for your news
That's good,
report.
actually.
Oh, the Maddox moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Maddox Minute.
A Maddox minute.
Thanks, caller. I'm actually going to be going to Japan as soon as we get off of here, based on that information.
Looking
Yeah.
for some herbs.
Yeah.
Looking for herbs.
Yeah. Her before boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rucka.
Okay.
Here's another call. Thank you for that call. That was very interesting. I didn't know that about Japan, but that's wow.
They're kind of fucked up.
Yeah, the whole bombing them thing really, they just haven't quite recovered.
Oh, you blaming that on them?
Yes.
Not only that, but their ideas, because of their weird opinions of shame and honor and
Right.
obligations, and if you fail a test, it's time to kill yourself. They're very neurotic people. They're not big. Many of the Asian cultures are not big on introspection and therapy and things that I think could benefit.
So we got another voicemail about Rucka. Rucka said something kind of interesting at the end of the last
Wait, what?
episode. Yeah.
I did?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this guy thought so. Listen to this.
Hey, fellas. You know, I've been listening to the podcast for a while, and it really breaks my heart to hear Rucka's going. But you know what? I respect his decision. He's a hard-working guy. He works so hard, and he is a genuine sexist, and I respect that. All right, good luck, Rucka.
Thanks.
All right, fucking Nazi.
Yeah, the tail end of the last episode, Rucka during his wrap-up said he's a genuine sexist.
Yeah. What was the context again? I don't remember. Can't be that important.
It can't be that. No,
It was MGTOW.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a MGTOW, yeah. It was a very confused definition of what a
you know
sexist
what I
is.
said?
Yeah.
I said, I think deep down women look up to men.
Yeah.
I think like women kind of do look to men to lead them. And when men are all busy going their own way and indulging in, 3D virtual porn and playing porno video games, like
masturbating.
women have nowhere to turn. So that and they turn into angry people as well.
Well, I actually agree with that to some extent.
To some extent.
What
and that's the extent that we care to hear about. No, I'm joking. Finish your point.
No, I was just thinking, this is going to sound completely ridiculous, but ever since this sort of Me Too movement has gone just off the rails, I've made it a point when I go to my office every day and I see a woman to step in front of her as I enter the elevator.
Wow.
I do everything I can to treat every woman as equally as I would another guy.
Okay.
I don't open doors. I show no chivalry anymore, and I encourage everyone listening here to do the same thing.
Disagree. I am a very chivalrous man. I am chivalrous.
He has a sword.
If nothing else.
He has a fedora.
That was good.
A sword and a fedora.
Shining armor.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another voicemail. So I got a ton of voicemail for Rucka, because this is Rucka's farewell show, and I asked people to call in. I'm gonna play a bunch of these. Here's another one.
Rucka, you're a piece of shit, but you are our piece of shit. Listening to you and Maddox constantly go back and forth and fuck with each other and get angry at each other is one of the main reasons why I tuned in every week to the best debate in the universe. There's Siskel and Ebert, there's Simon and Garfunkel, there's Ren and Stimpy, and there's fucking Maddox and Rucka. You two are just the fucking best whenever you two get on the radio with each other, and it's just so much fucking fun to listen to you guys. And Rucka, we're all seriously gonna miss you. Fuck you, but we love you too. Best in life. Have a great time. Whatever you're doing next, we're gonna miss you. Go fuck yourself, but you're also awesome. Take care, man. Peace out. Fuck whales.
Yeah, fuck whales to you too. That's a nice
I like that
voicemail.
guy's
Nice
voice.
little book plug
Yeah,
at the end.
he's got a good voice. So Rucka also, when he was over here last week after we recorded, Rucka personally got to witness my crazy neighbor. And by the way, my crazy neighbor has been trying to put a wedge between Rucka and I for a while. Every time she sees Rucka, she goes out and she says, "You're a good boy. You're a good one."
Mm-hmm.
And then with me, bad. Always bad.
Yeah.
Shit, the omen, dude. That's real. She's
Is
a
that-
witch.
Right?
You know that, right? She's putting a hex.
Oh, is that what she's doing?
separated you two to also. That's what this is about. He's
Fucking-
going his own way for a reason that you can't control and he
she
can't
wins.
control.
Oh,
She
shit.
wins. Oh,
Well, I
Just
have
You're gonna have to have a little
Wow.
chat with your
We're gonna have
neighbor.
I have a little recording that Rucka made of my crazy neighbor chasing a UPS driver around the block. Listen to this. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, at least I got a job being a so sorry ass. Yeah, you don't even know how to use it.
Oh, she's has like
Hey, no, I don't trust you with that profanity, so get the fuck out. Hey, look, you're just looking for the drunk. Yeah, hey, believe me, I could get really mad, and believe me.
He's just like going.
It's my crazy neighbor running around chasing the poor UPS driver, just trying to deliver a package. That's
Not her package, someone else's package.
I think
Yeah, someone else's
he was
package.
like looking for the address, and he accidentally got too close to her door, and she started yelling at him, saying she doesn't like Mexicans, or telling him like,
no
"You're
way.
you're Mexican."
Are you serious?
And he was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Well, I was born here," and she said, "Fuck you," and he was like, "I have a job at least."
Yeah.
So I gotta say, at the 11th hour, I actually see what you mean about her.
Oh yeah, thank you.
She's
Thank
not
God.
a saint.
Yeah, she's no.
We don't approve of racism here.
No, sir.
No. Here's another caller.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rucka, for recording that clip. But here's another caller talking about you, Rucka. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. I just called to say I'm a little sad to hear that Rucka's leaving the show. It's been a good run, but
Yeah.
what I'm really worried about is, like, you got to get someone else on that makes you look like an unabated genius when you say common sense things. Because Rucka's gone now. Anyway, fuck whales.
Yeah.
Very backhand. I figured you would appreciate that, Rucka.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you know,
Yeah.
change is hard. Nobody
is, yeah,
said
yeah.
it was easy.
Well, here's another caller. We got a bunch of Rucka callers. Listen to this guy.
Hey, Rucka, I'm going to miss you a lot, man. This is going to sound really weird, but you actually kind of saved my marriage. I'm really into these social justice warrior arguments and debates, and it got so bad that my wife was actually threatening to divorce me because I was so annoying about it. So I decided to play her some clips of you on the show when you talk about social justice warriors, and she actually thought that I was not as annoying as you. Because she listened to you go, yeah, I the patriarchy and that dumb voice you make. So she fell back in love with me, and we're staying together. So thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
That's great
Fucking
news.
huge whale.
Dude, but that means the marriage is about to fall apart because you're not going to be here anymore.
That's right.
I mean, that
Right?
sucks. What happens the next time his lovely wife wants to divorce him over
You better
some
get that new podcast up and running, man. You're about to start ruining some lives.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Here's
your
another
marriage.
Here's another goodbye message for Rucka. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, I'm a big fan of your podcast, and I wanted to call because after hearing that Rucka's going to be leaving, it's going to be really sad to see him go, and I had a question. Who's going to be doing the wrap-ups when he's gone? You know, I don't think that you or Mikey could even really theoretically pull it off. You just don't have the same kind of style as Rucka Rucka Ali. I also had another question. I've been re-listening to some of your old podcasts, and I heard you like Vaporwave. One of my personal favorite Vaporwave albums is Self-Titled by Dreams West. I recommend you check it out. And I'd love to hear what some of your favorites were, too, because I'm a huge fan of the genre. All right, stay cool, guys.
All right, couple things.
Some music recommendations.
Yeah, music recommendation. I actually checked out the album that he recommended. It was really good. Yeah, Mikey, what do you think? That guy kind of threw shade at both of us, saying we can't do the rap.
He doesn't know us.
Yeah, he doesn't know us.
But I'm not going to ever do that because that's his thing.
Yeah, but
I'm going to do my
the
thing.
Mikey moment.
The Mikey Minute.
Yeah, the Mikey Minute.
That's fine, but I'm not going to trust it. You can't just say that. Like, we can't fill his shoes for the thing that he created. Like
the bolts.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, a jolt of bolt.
A jolt of bolts.
Jolt
There you
of
go.
bolts.
Oh, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue.
Fucking lightning sound effect coming.
Yeah.
Jolt of the bolts.
Yeah. And that's your jolt of the week. All right. Well, here's another one that
Okay.
just made me cringe.
Maybe
too
we
hard.
aren't going to miss you. I don't know. You might have. I don't know.
Listen to this.
Hey, I just called to say goodbye to Rucka. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll miss you, and I love you, and I hope to hear you again on future episodes, but I'll still catch you on all your YouTube channels, because I love you. Bye!
Was that Hitler again?
That was not Hitler.
Okay.
That was a hot babe.
She sounds hot.
Yeah. Here's another caller.
Hey, this is Jim, just leaving a voicemail for Rucka on his last day. Just wanted to thank him for debating Maddox for the past 2 years. You guys have been great. Rucka, sad to see you go. Good luck in all your future endeavors. Have a good one.
Very nice. A lot of sweet voicemails.
Wow, nice.
Here's another nice one. This is a really nice, short and sweet voicemail from your people. Just somebody wanting to call in and say hello.
Oh, hello!
Oh, man.
Is that it? Is that all we get?
Look at you guys.
Here's another one. Longtime caller, Weird Matthew, had to say goodbye.
Yeah.
He's got some words too about what you talked about during your wrap up. I think you'll appreciate this, Mike T. Listen to this.
Hey, Rucka. Heard you're leaving the show. Should come back soon. But while you're gone, do something about the hair. I'm serious. Everyone's saying it. You know it. I know it. The listeners know it. Max knows it. Mikey knows it. Dreadmare knows it. And everybody else knows it. Seriously. Or just grow it long, man. Do something. Do something. You can't fucking just leave it long. Like, can't leave it like Paul. You're not fucking that dude from the 80s movie, House Party. Block Party.
Classic Weird Matthew call ending abruptly with a dog barking in the background.
Yeah.
Thank you, Weird Matthew. Here's one more, and then I got a very nice one to end on. But listen to this.
Hey guys, just wanted to wish Rucka farewell. It was fun having him on the podcast. I've left a lot of hate voicemail for him. I think only one of them ever has gotten played, but he's good to have on the podcast. I'll miss him.
Yeah, that's true. And here's one last one. This is a very special one. I want to save the best for last. This is from our own Jesse P.S. from Pod Awful. He called in and wanted to say a farewell, and here's his. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. It's Jesse from Pod Awful. I just thought I'd call in because, I heard Rucka's leaving, and I'm sure, like many listeners, I'm very disappointed to hear that, and so I thought it would be nice to give him one final goodbye, the only way befitting Rucka Rucka Ali, and that, of course, is through a parody song. So if you'll forgive me, I had to learn how to play guitar to do this, and that did not leave me enough time to learn how to sing. Fuck. Fuck. Yes. Yeah. Another t-shirt calling Maddox lost his mind. A better moderator you could never find. We could all learn a thing from the Rucka wrap-up. If only Maddox would shut the fuck up. He tended to the cum dumpsters and ran the ship real tight. I hope Rucka had the time of his life. So take the podcast feed and YouTube videos, put them on repeat and order Domino's. Rucka Science Corner never made any fucking sense. For what it's worth, that's exactly what I'll miss. He tended to the cum dumpsters and ran the ship real tight. I hope Rucka had the time of his life.
Idea about dinosaurs. I said that whales, current day whales might be dinosaurs because they can swim. But why are whales so big if they're not fucking... Anyway, it's just a hypothesis.
Tended to the cum dumpsters and ran the ship real tight. Rucka had the time of his life. Tended to the cum dumpsters and ran the ship real tight. I hope Rucka had the time of his life.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jesse P.S. from Pod Awful. Very touching. We're going to miss you, buddy. Congrats on...
Could have switched up one of those and said, like, I hope Rucka knows that he's white. Just kind of... It's pretty talented.
Very nice,
good
right?
stuff.
Didn't know Jesse could play so well.
Thanks. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked it up at the beginning there a few times. But
yeah, but he saved it. He brought it back.
He definitely brought it home.
It's weird because Jesse's been doing a podcast for, 10 years, and he knows how to edit. I don't know why he wouldn't edit those out.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Jesse P.S., and good luck, Rucka, on all your endeavors.
Thanks, bro.
We're going to miss you. Yeah.
Hope to hear Jesse, and I hope to see more of you guys on the show. I'm really lots of good people have passed through this studio. Hoping to see more of them.
Absolutely.
And I got high hopes for this show. Like people said when Adam Carolla left Loveline, I was miserable. I was Loveline fan, and Carolla left, and then Striker, solid.
The
solid
striker era.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rucka. So
Sure.
hopefully we can aspire to be like these striker.
Yeah. Find yourself a striker.
We can only hope to aspire.
I mean, yeah. It
Well,
was,
yeah. Well,
Good times.
thanks for the well wishes. Let's get some quick news headlines. This is a drunk man accidentally took an Uber from West Virginia to New Jersey.
God.
Oh man, this is just like the more I read the story, it
Like-
just got worse.
Like he put in the address and didn't realize he picked the wrong state.
It happens all the time.
And like no one asked any questions.
Well, this guy says after a night of drinking, Kenny Bachman called an Uber to take him home in the New Jersey suburbs of Philadelphia. There was just one problem. He wasn't in the Philadelphia area. He was in Morgantown, West Virginia, more than 300 miles away from home. The cost of the ride, $1,635.93. So Bachman, I'm going to try to do his voice that I can imagine. I just woke up. Bachman told NJ.com, and I'm thinking, why the fuck am I in a car next to some random ass dude I don't even know? Bachman said that by the time he realized what was happening, he was already a couple of hours into the 5-hour trip. So he decided to complete the trip rather than asking the driver to turn around.
That's so considerate of him.
Wow.
Like, just stop the ride. Just get out.
Fucking tuck and roll if you have to.
Yeah. $1,600. You could buy cheaper flights. So anyway.
Wow.
You could buy a car and drive it for $1,000.
But you know what? I mean, yeah, the driver's like equally complicit. Like, what kind of a fucked up driver gets in a car, like fills his tank up 7 times and continues to the goddamn
But I want to know about
ride?
the other person, or is the other person the driver, or was there another passenger? Because that'd be
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was not.
Just the two of them on a nice 5-hour journey.
It was it was not an Uber pool, but it gets worse.
Can you imagine what it was?
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we happen to find 2 customers both going to Jersey.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the odds? It gets worse. According to NJ.com, surge pricing was in effect.
I love it.
The whole way?
Almost, yeah, the whole way.
Damn, dog. A lot of
he booked
traffic
it.
going that way.
He booked it under surge pricing.
That's insane.
It almost doubled the fare. Bachman made things even worse by accidentally ordering an upscale Uber XL instead of the conventional Uber.
Jesus Christ.
Bachman complained to Uber, but Uber insisted that the driver had taken him to the destination he requested.
Rules are
Bachman
rules.
ultimately paid the fare.
Jesus.
Once the ride ended and I saw how much it was, I was like, all right, this is insane. That's just crazy, Bachman said. He says he gave the driver 5 stars and even gave the driver cash to cover the cost of the tolls on the way home. That's considerate of him.
Nice
How
guy.
did he get
Considerate
back?
fuck up.
Did he just hop on a plane?
Well, he was home. Dillon, he got home. I guess he wasn't intending to go back home to New Jersey. Is there a train? There's probably like a cheaper train, like a $20 train ride or something.
You might have to transfer. Take a fucking megabus if you have to.
Yeah.
Like from Morgantown to Philly.
Yeah, what's that, like 8, 10,
Then
15
fucking
bucks?
a megabus would
Yeah.
be like fucking $20.
I mean, he could take a lift.
Yeah, not a non-surging Uber or Lyft would have only cost him about $800.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
only.
Yeah.
Stupid. And then we got one more story. This is from U.S. News. A smoking orangutan riles anger against a zoo in Indonesia. Have you seen this video? It's been going viral.
I've seen a meme made out of the stills, and that was it.
No, wait, tell us.
There's
tell
an
us.
orangutan just lighting up at this zoo, and everyone's pissed off. Jakarta, Indonesia. Nothing better to do than to get pissed off at a fucking orangutan try and take a smoke break. It said his long, hard day at the zoo. A video of an orangutan smoking has brought more criticism of a zoo in Indonesia, infamous for past animal welfare troubles. In the video shot Sunday, a young man flicks his half-smoked cigarette into the primate's enclosure. It's picked up by the reddish-brown primate, who expertly puffs on it, to laughter from the crowd. So I thought they gave him a pack of cigs, and then this orangutan was lighting up. Some guy just flicked him a cigarette, and the orangutan knew what to do with it. Just
It's
picked
like
up
an urban legend. It's like, yo, if you go to the orangutan and flick him a cigarette, he'll smoke it.
Is that really a thing?
That's what it sounds like. It
Yeah.
just seems like a thing that people are aware of.
Well,
go to the zoo, flick a cigarette at the orangutan. Like, what else are you going to do on a
What
Sunday?
do they do to relax? Like, if they're having like a stressed out day, what do orangutans do?
Same thing we all do. Just jack the fuck off.
That is
That's
what we do.
Jack off and then the cigarette.
Jack
Use
off
both
and then
hands at the
cigarette.
same time, eh?
Yeah, they're
All right.
ambidextrous.
He was
Okay.
probably away for about 5 minutes and then came out. And someone flicked him a cigarette. He's like, oh, perfect. It's great.
Well,
I love
that's
this zoo.
that's it for the news stories. I got more, but this is we got a shit ton of voicemail and stuff. I'm gonna play a couple after the credit song. But Rucka, thanks for being a guest on the show.
By the way,
yes,
the penalty for masturbation in Indonesia is death.
Is it really?
Yeah. So go tell that orangutan to go jerk off to let off his stress.
Wait. Slow down. What?
That's what I heard once.
The fucking monkey is stressed out. Well, Mikey confirmed, right? You said
Yeah. No, I actually have heard that.
You have heard that, huh?
The monkey.
Very religious.
Wow.
Wait.
How do you enforce that? How do you? I don't want to know.
If there are two witnesses, and I don't know.
If a notary is present,
I don't find out. Yeah, you gotta get it notarized.
They check your palms.
They don't sign with ink. Just put it that way.
They give you an eye test and they check your palms for hair.
They put you to death?
Yeah.
Okay,
you'd better not.
Come on.
That's crazy. That's
maybe they find out with like
your wanking arm.
Maybe they find out like
another one.
like a Babylonian method, like they throw you into the river, and if the river spits you back out, you're innocent.
Maybe they just make you suck it back in.
Jesus Christ.
Makes sense. Mm?
There's a term for that.
Yeah. Is that it?
Trigger.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, Rucka, thanks again for being a guest this week on our show.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
On the internet.
On the internet. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I'll be out on monster.com looking for a gig. If anyone out there, could use an extra pair of hands. Maybe like a radio station needs me to drive the van around. Go to hockey games or whatever, and like set up a booth.
Superintendent of cum dumpsters.
Yeah,
at one point.
I've got experience with cum dumpsters.
Yeah.
With
Just put that on a resume.
Yeah.
We should look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being monarch of moderation. Those are all good qualities to have on a resume.
Absolutely.
So if you guys are looking,
Verbal
monster.com.
skills,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
right?
definitely. And Dillon?
I got Black and Blue police documentary. Should be coming out in a couple months. A couple things I'm working on. Rucka, I wish you the best.
Thanks,
I hope
bro.
Your solo career is more Justin Timberlake and less Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, the rapper from Linkin Park.
Exactly.
Better than
that's all he's
better than
known
the
as,
Chester.
the rapper from Linkin Park. So,
Ouch.
Well,
All right.
at least he's not known as the singer of Linkin Park.
Oof.
yeah, I guess oof.
What?
Too soon.
Son, where'd you find this?
Too soon.
Good diss. And Mike D.
Yes, Mike.
So matter of factly. Good diss. All right.
Mike D, thank you again for coming on. And congratulations, Mike D, for your huge promotion on the show.
Very excited for my corner office. This is going to be great.
Yeah, Mike's Corner.
Yeah.
Mike's Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, thank you again, Rucka Rucka Ali guests.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Sultan of Swag.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dillon Avery. And thank you to the moderator, Mike D.
Peace.
But most of all, you're welcome.
Hey guys, I've got some quick advice for Rucka. You're moving on doing your new thing. Congrats with all that, but I think you need to bring back Rucka's Late Night Power Hour. I was a big fan. I didn't get to listen to all the episodes because TalkShoe kind of sucks, and I think I was on at least Steve Jobs Wasn't Cyberbullied, which I believe came out around the time that Steve Jobs died. And that'd be a good way to pay back the fans. So yeah.
So what's he talking about?
I used to like broadcast a podcast on, like through Blog Talk and TalkShoe. There's actually, I haven't listened to that. It was like 2011.
Wow.
And you would have liked me back then. Like when I hated Apple.
Yeah.
I thought it was for dorks. I thought it was for hipsters. When Steve Jobs died, I named an episode, At Least Steve Jobs Wasn't Cyberbullied.
Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that. So maybe you'll bring the Power Hour back.
Maybe not.
Well, here's maybe not, guys. Something to not look forward to. And
Rucka's Late Night Power Hour.
Yeah.
Well, possibly coming soon.
Probably not.
Not in Indonesia.
Probably not. No, definitely not in Indonesia.
Definitely not in Indonesia.
Here's one last caller.
Hey, Lord Maddox, it's Dan. Sorry, I have a cough. Anyways, I'm a high school student, and fuck, man.
Stay in school, man.
Well,
I think you found your next moderator right there.
Yeah,
and you may be embarrassed of how that call went, but you actually just won yourself a free T-shirt.
No! Oh no, another one.
Did you ever send the one to the one guy?
No, I gotta send him. The Drawling Aussie shit. Ah, man. Drawling Aussie, if you're listening, I'm going to send you that.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.